All right, on this episode of Bouts Talking Bouts, happy to be speaking to an individual who has a big fight coming up at BKFC 7. Going to be taking on Arnold Adams for that heavyweight championship, and I'm talking to Chase Sherman. How's your day going so far there, man?
Good, man. I just left the gym. Driving home right now. I got like 4 protein shakes in my lap. I'm trying to put my knee and talking on the phone, so multitasking at the moment.
Yeah, and I'm kind of wondering about your thoughts on this fight here. I mean, you had the fight there with Sam Shoemaker, who seems to be positioned pretty well in the division and everything like that. You had like the pretty close contested fight with him, and now you sort of find yourself in this position. How's the run in bare-knuckle been so far? It seems like you're really doing well and just kind of like adapting to the style.
I enjoy it, man. I just enjoy fighting in general, whatever it is. I appreciate every aspect of the fight game, whether it's boxing, grappling, kickboxing, whatever you may have. But yeah, I enjoy bare knuckle boxing. It's kind of raw. That's kind of how I learned how to fight growing up. We didn't fucking have gloves, so we squared up and fought. No gloves. So kind of it's home for me a little bit, but I enjoy it, man. The last fight with Shoemaker, it kind of left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. It was the judging was all over the place. One judge gave me all 5 rounds, one judge gave him 3, and then another judge gave it a draw. So I don't kind of understand where the judging takes place. They say it's bare knuckle fighting, not bare knuckle boxing. Yet some judges are scoring it like it's boxing. Some judges are scoring it like it's an actual fight. So it was kind of confusing in that aspect. But the last fight with Shoemaker, actually right before I had the fight 3 weeks before that, man, I had an allergic reaction to a supplement I was taking, and it shut down my fucking liver, and I was in the ICU, and they put me in a sedated coma. That was 3 weeks before the fight, and I was in the hospital for like 3 days, and I got out. They were going to cancel the fight, and I told them not to cancel the fucking fight. Literally got out of the hospital bed and had to, learn how to walk. My legs were all fucking fucked up for being in the hospital there for 4 days, and really faced some adversity there. And so, the fact that I almost died, and then 3 weeks later I was fighting a bare knuckle fight against a former contender was, made a statement about my character. And a lot of people don't really know that story because I try to keep my business to myself. But that's what it is. And I think like this time around, I'm going to be a completely different fighter when I step into the ring.
So what happened with the supplement then? Is this something that you would maybe want to like take legal action with in regards to like the company that supplied you with that supplement, or kind of just like?
It was just it was I don't know. There's a herbal fucking alternative thing going around called Kratom, man, and it ended up fucking it was people were getting it offline, and I was taking it for like my sleep anxiety and shit, and I ended up having like an allergic reaction to it, man. And I went to bed when I woke up the next fucking day. I woke up later on in the fucking hospital wondering what the fuck's going on with like my family being around surrounding me, and it just it was really fucking scary. The doctors and shit were saying, like if I fucking came out of the coma or whatever, that I probably wasn't gonna be the fucking same shit. And then they were telling me I definitely won't be able to fight again. And they were telling me I was gonna be in the hospital for fucking 3 weeks. And I was like out there in like 3 days, and I was like, fuck this, I need the money, I had to fight, I had bills to pay, so I was like, unless you're gonna pay my fucking bills, then I'm fighting. So my liver enzymes were like, I think she said it was like 400 or something, and I was like, what's normal? She's like, in the 4,000s is normal. So it wasn't a good thing, man, and it was kind of it's crazy, but it is what it is. You know, I went out there and fought. I feel like I put on a good show. I feel like I won the fight. Some people feel like he won the fight. You know, the commentary was really fucking biased. I feel like if you go watch the fight without the commentary and then you go watch the fight with the commentary, you'd have a completely different fucking aspect of who you might think won. But whatever. I don't care. That's in the past. And, you know, Sam's a big guy. He's a hell of a fighter. And we're moving on. So.
Yeah, I'm wondering what that does to your mental game, you know, like going through all that adversity, and it sounds like, you know, tremendously stressful, obviously, but then you get out there and you have a performance where, like you said, a lot of people thought you took the fight and were kind of confused by the judging maybe. Like, what does that do to, I guess, galvanize your mental game going forward, just overcoming adversity to that magnitude?
Yeah, man, I was like, well, you know, fuck, at that point I was like, you know, I can't get much worse than being in a fucking hospital in the ICU for 3 days. I was like, fighting ain't really shit now, you know what I mean? It kind of gave me a more positive perspective, kind of calm my nerves down a little bit, because at the end of the day, no matter what happens in the ring, at least I'll get to go home with my fucking kids, you know, and get to see my family. And for a minute there, I didn't know if that was going to happen again, so, you know, it is what it is. So.
Yeah, well, really glad to hear your.
I'm alive and I'm well. And, you know, I just got along with the fire department here, so I've been in the fire academy for 11 weeks, man. And I'm probably in the best shape I've ever been in my life, man. It's fucking been grueling out here in this heat, South Mississippi, and been doing this academy every day, so I'm in really good shape.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear, man. I mean, you do seem like a proud dad. You know, you got to keep getting down to Jimi Hendrix with the kid and everything like that. So good to hear you're back on track with that. But I was noticing you had something on social media a while ago where you were talking about how, like, the second BKFC event was coming to your hometown of Biloxi. And you were just talking about, oh, yeah, it'd be an interesting night sort of thing. But now you find yourself in a position where you're going to be, you know, competing in Biloxi, Mississippi and everything like that. So I'm kind of curious, when did the dialogue get going on with you in terms of, like, did they reach out to you and offer you a bare-knuckle fight? Did you contact someone with their promotion and kind of gauge interest on that? Like, what was the timeline for becoming part of BKFC?
Yeah, I can't really remember. I think they reached out to us and my manager, and I was like, yeah, you know, I was watching the fights and stuff beforehand, and I thought it was pretty cool when they came down here, and then. Man, it all came to fruition, bro. It's like I was watching the fights, and I was like, I bet I'm going to have to fight one of these guys. And it ended up being Sam, and I was like, I told myself, I was like, I'm going to beat Sam, and then I'm going to ask for the title. And it was a draw, but somehow I got a title shot anyways, you know? So it's just kind of all coming to fruition. The cards all kind of lining up. And, you know, I really wouldn't even care that much about the belt or anything like that. I'm just a prize fighter right now trying to support my family, but that belt kind of has a real historical tie to Mississippi and that Police Gazette belt and the history behind it, and it's really cool, so I really want to bring that back home to where it belongs, you know, because, you know, I don't know if you've done any research on that, but there's a really cool story behind it. Important to the tradition and history around here, and just kind of want to shed some light on that around the community.
Yeah, it seems like there's a pretty, like, well steeped, like, bare knuckle lineage from that area and everything like that.
Yeah, so that belt is, I think it was like 130 years ago, somewhere around there. That belt was fought down here and on the coast where I'm from in Mississippi, in a little town called Mississippi City, which is now known as Gulfport. And it was about John L. Sullivan fought for that title, and, like, you know, boxing was illegal, but it was bare knuckle boxing was illegal, but they set up, anyways, people, like thousands of people rode in on trains from New Orleans and all over, and went out to this yard and pretty much watched these two guys fight for the title. Thousands of people, you know, and it went like 76 rounds, and John L. Sullivan that winning the belt, and it's kind of like a historical thing. There's just some rich history behind it, and I thought that was kind of cool. But now it's coming back. They made a replica of the belt, and I had to fight for it. So.
Yeah, it sounds like you really appreciate the history behind it and everything like that, man. And absolutely, John L. Sullivan, probably the most prolific bare-knuckle fighter of all time, or closest to it at the very least. But talking about your opponent here in this fight, Arnold Adams, I'm kind of curious about your assessment of his skills, because he seemed to have like a pretty good performance with, DJ Linderman and everything like that. But then also the Joey Beltran fight, it seemed like he, did reasonably well as far as like, cutting up his opponent and having the doctor intervene and everything like that. What are your thoughts on the skill set that Arnold Adams has and brings to this fight?
Yeah, man, he's a good fighter. I don't know, man. I just gotta go out there and do what I need to do. He's a champ for a reason, man. But I feel like I'm a fucking world class fighter, bro. I really do. And I've been in there with the fucking best in the world. The best in the world. I fought the best in the world. There's no way around it. You know what I mean? And I'm fucking ranked number 40 in the world right now in MMA. So like, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm a different athlete. I'm just a different breed of fighter. I don't know, man. It's just all coming together for me now. But he's good. He's got tools in the bag. But he you know what I mean. Also, he's fucking 7-10 as an MMA fighter too for a reason. You know what I mean? There's a lot of holes there, and I plan on exposing those holes. And this patty cake bullshit with the fucking fucking shoulder rolling and the 1-2 punches and just throwing that fast jab out there, like that's what I mean. Like it looks nice and everything when your opponent's just fucking standing in front of you and eating that shit, but you're gonna get in there and you're gonna find out what it's like to fight a real fucking fighter, So we're gonna see what happens on August 10th, and that's that's just it, Like I said, he's a good fighter, man. But I just feel like I'm on a different level. I mean, he can say like this is his niche and everything, but no, this is fucking fighting. I don't care which. And there's no way around it. Like you might say, oh, I'm a bare knuckle fighter, you're an MMA guy, or I'm a boxer, you're an MMA guy. It's like, dude, nah, bro, it don't matter to me. It's a fight. A fight's a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. But you mentioned his MMA record in there and everything like that, and being that Arnold Adams is the BKFC heavyweight champion, I've talked to a couple MMA fighters who also do bare knuckle about just the success that MMA fighters have and how it's like a pretty easy sort of crossover and seamless transition. What do you think it is about the MMA skill set and what you train that lends itself so well to success in bare knuckle fighting?
I mean, just because you know what it is, man. A lot of it is too because MMA guys, these fucking boxers, man, they always talk about, MMA guys don't know shit about striking and this and that. I'm like, motherfucker, y'all got two things to worry about: a left hand and a fucking right hand. I'm like, when we get ready for fights, we gotta worry about takedowns, we gotta worry about jiu-jitsu, we gotta worry about kicks, knees, elbows, punches, the whole fucking 9 yards. So we can't just go out there and show off our fucking boxing skills, because we'll get pieced up. We can't shoulder roll. We can't get in a Philly shell and do all that shit because we're going to get kicked in the fucking face. So it's not that we don't know how to do it. It's not that we don't know how to do it. It's that in our sport, you got to be a little bit more conservative. So now when you take us over to just what we're just using our hands, we're able to focus on only 2 things. We only have to focus on 2 things now versus like fucking 10 different things. So it's easy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like the methodology is different in a lot of ways.
But boxers, they're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? They're still just stunning. I think it's boxing. Whereas, and then also in MMA too, we've been used to having small gloves on, that are the size of your fists. Boxers aren't, so we're fitting it. You know, we're used to being able to see, you know, a hand flying at us versus a 10-ounce glove. You know, so we're used to having a little bit of tighter defense. I don't know, man. It is what it is. You know, I mean, you have Arnold Adams, who was not even that successful in MMA, go out there and beat a fucking former world champion boxer.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if you're. Yeah, for sure. I get what you're saying on that end, man. But I'm kind of wondering, like, if your, I guess, striking methodology differs between MMA and bare-knuckle boxing. It seems like the shot selection is different. Maybe a consideration about, like, not breaking hands for certain fighters. You know, there's, like, faster-paced fights with, like, the shorter round increments and everything like that. Like, how does your, I guess, striking change in BKB versus what you do in mixed martial arts?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying with that. I guess you got to be a little bit more precise, man. Other than that, it really doesn't change. Just be more precise with your strikes and pick and choose, and you know, try not to hit their head, top of their head, break their head. You know, I think body shots are definitely a lot more effective. Crystal, come get this. A lot more effective. Yeah, you know, it is what it is, man. It's really not that complex of a thing. You don't have to look at it. It's a fight.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And checking out the last few MMA fights you've had, I mean, it seems like you're killing it with Island Fights, you know, all first round stoppages, and being that Island Fights is on UFC Fight Pass, I'm kind of curious, is the goal ultimately to get back to UFC, you know, going forward? Or are you looking to really, like, make a run in bare knuckle fighting and sort of just, like, see where it goes for you?
Well, I mean, I'm going wherever the money's at, man. You know, if the UFC offers me, and then, you know, I mean, I'm going wherever the money is, bro. I mean, so I gotta support my family, you know. Now, my heart is with the UFC. Don't get me wrong, bro, because I loved it. But money talks. If bare knuckle was like, hey, you know, we're gonna start paying you this and this, I mean, how can you turn it down, really? You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see. I mean, I wish you could do both, you know. But yeah, man, that's the goal. Was to get some more MMA wins, and you know, they actually, Big Man here called me and asked me to fight on Contender Series, but I was in the middle of a fire academy, so I couldn't do that. So I'm on their radar again, man. It's just, you know, I feel like too, man, I got there and won this title in bare knuckle, which is an organization that's blowing up. I think that's going to speak volumes too. So who knows what happens, you know? I'm just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah, I get that, man. I saw after you beat Rashad Coulter too, you mentioned you got to pay off those student loans, so you got to keep, you know, pushing forward with that and everything. But I was going to ask about the, you know, the firefighter training and everything like that. I saw you put something up on your Instagram, and you were talking about how it was the beginning of a new journey. How has all of that been, and how's the, you know, endeavor as a firefighter been going so far?
Man, we just finished the academy Friday. It was 11 weeks, and it was definitely the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I mean, you're out there. I mean, I'm talking about we're in the South out here, and it's fucking 100 degrees and 100% humidity down here. I mean, we have heat index of like 110. And we're out there every day for 8 hours a day grinding. I'm talking about full firefighter gear, boots, out gear, pants, freaking jacket, freaking gloves, your mask, 50-pound air tank, a hood that goes over your mask, and your helmet. So no air in, no air out. And we're out there just doing stuff like we'll go to the casino parking garages that are outside. We'll climb. We'll start doing flights of stairs, like 70, 80 stories up and down in the middle of the day, carrying victims up and down. And we'll go we'll go to the beach, and we'll go run around. We'll run on the beach with a mask on, or we'll, you know what I mean? It's just grueling, man. It was just something. And I've played college football. You know what I mean? I've been fighting for 7 years, and it was no doubt about it, some of the hardest stuff I've ever done. So, I mean, different world for sure. But I think I enjoy it too.
That's great, man. It has some utility for your MMA career for sure. Like you're talking about like the fitness it lends to you. So it seems like it's working out on that end too. Getting to help out people is always good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and for like the recuperative end of things too. I mean, like getting in a lot of like hard work with that, obviously, but obviously with your MMA training too, it seems like the soft tissue roll was like a pretty key thing. But also you do a bit of cryotherapy as well. What other, I guess, recuperative measures do you have in place for like after like rough fights or like hard training sessions?
Man, I started getting some yoga with one of my coaches. One of my coaches is he's more like my movement coach, and he is big on. He owns a physical therapy office, and he's been one of my really good friends for a long time. But he knows the body really well, so like he had a guy coming in teaching yoga. I would do yoga. Me and him would also do. I don't know. You've heard of Wim Hof, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Wim Hof. We've been doing a lot of Wim Hof breathing techniques, ice bath techniques, different things like that. Just different things like that, man. Just a lot of good stretching, different modalities to get the body feeling better. Dry needling, obviously, all your soft tissue stuff. So myofascial scraping, just everything, man. It's really good to have a physical therapist in your back pocket.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, 7 years since your amateur MMA debut and everything like that. And it seems like you've been, learning a lot as time goes on. Been a long time since like back in the day, like when you were getting your gloves laced up and you were sparring in that small garage on that Cleveland farm there, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's come a long way, and I think I'm just now getting to where, I've always had the athleticism there, still there. But now, like, the mental's coming along. I'm starting to understand the game a little bit better. And instead of it being checkers for me, it's turned into chess. I'm obviously getting to the point where I have a little bit more experience, so I'm able to outthink my opponent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure that's going to, lend itself to this fight and, different fights going forward. And yeah, hopefully we can see another island fight, Sally, there. Like you were tapping into your, Steve Austin and Triple H with the beer spit there. So maybe we're going to get a similar post-fight celebration here coming up.
Yeah, probably not going to be in Florida, though, because the commission told me they were going to fine me if I did that again.
Well, I didn't know about that, but I mean, you've been really great with your time, man. I'm curious if there's anything you want to add as a parting thought as we're wrapping up here.
No, man, I think we covered almost everything. I appreciate you letting me talk to you.
Yeah, it was great talking to you, and I'm looking forward to this fight on August 10th, and people can check it out live and free on YouTube. BKFC 7, Mississippi Coast Coliseum in Biloxi, Mississippi is where it's going at. If people want to check it live and in person, Chase Sherman going to be contending for that BKFC Heavyweight Championship against Arnold Adams. Thanks for all the time and insights there, Chase, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day there, man.
All right, man. Take care.